Hello, so I just wanted to do a little video about the Cobra plugin or Cobra extension, however you want to call it, Webman. It's pretty much one of the best plugins I've ever seen. So it always comes hand in hand with any of my Cobra custom firmware, and you can run it on any Cobra custom firmware regardless of the plugin. So if you go to install packages on my custom firmware, I'll always include whatever relevant packages you need. I can never put game managers in like Multiman or Irisman because they're too big to put into the custom firmware. However, I can put things like CCAPI and Webman, which is what I do, and in non-Cobra custom firmware I'll put PSN Patch and PS Ninja in as well. So, what you want to do is you want to install CCAPI and Webman Updater, and I've already got CCAPI installed, so I'll just install Webman Updater for the time being. Now what you want to do is you want to press X on Webman Mod, and that will run the updater package. The screen will go black. It's not like a regular package, there's no interaction. The screen will go black and the PS3 will reboot. Then when it reboots you'll get a notification in the top right hand corner that says Webman loaded. That means Webman's been updated. Once you've done that, you can then delete this package. I'm just going to delete it now because I've already got it installed. And then once you've done Webman Updater, then install CCAPI. Now the reason I say to do Webman Updater first is because sometimes if you do CCAPI first and then install Webman Updater, it can cause a bit of a problem. So sometimes these folders that are here won't actually appear there, they'll just be blank for some reason. So make sure that you do install the Webman Updater first, run it, and then run the console control API, because otherwise it can cause problems. Okay, so if you open up Webman Games, Webman Setup, and there's a few various different bits and pieces. It's really good. It's like Multiman. It's a whole multi-tool, and the full props, because it's, as I say, it's one of the best things ever. So you can literally, just have a look through the options, and there's a whole array of different options and stuff like that. So what we're going to concentrate at the moment is enable dynamic fan control. This is really good for if you haven't got a hardware fan mod. I'd always recommend hardware fan mods, particularly the one that Zoffmods makes, because it's just, they're top quality sort of thing. So, but if you haven't got your hands on one of them, you can visit ps3updat.com, and I am going to put a page on there for the hardware fan mods, because they're just, I've done a lot of testing, and the hardware fan mod that Zoffmods makes, it just keeps the temperatures right down, and it also makes it so that the fan's not as loud. The problem with Webman is that it will make the fan loud in order to keep the PS3 cool, but you want to keep your temperatures down, obviously. So yeah, so what you want to do is make sure that enable dynamic fan control is ticked, and then underneath that will be auto at, and then it will have 65 degrees, 72 degrees, 68 degrees. So you want to ideally make sure that's set at 65, and then what that will do is when the PS3, if the PS3 should I say, gets to 65 degrees, either of the chips, the auto fan control will kick in and it will start to speed up, which will help to obviously bring the temperature back down. And then make sure that the lowest percent fan speed is set. It should be ticked. And I mean, on slims you want to set it, I normally set slims at around about 35 to 40%, and with fats I normally set them to around about 30%. It's just to find the right balance between a noisy fan and a cool temperature. Have a little play about with it, change it a few times, find whatever's right for you. Some people don't really mind if the fan's loud. I myself, I don't really mind, because I play with the TV volume up anyway, so I never really hear it, so I always put the fan a little bit faster, particularly on slims. So once you've set those, if you scroll right down to the bottom and click on save, and then once you've clicked save, it will come up here and it will say click here to restart your PS3 system. Click there, PS3 will beep and it will restart. Sometimes it might restart onto a black screen. If it does just restart onto a black screen, just turn the PS3 off and then just do a video reset, which is holding the power button when you turn it on until it beeps for the second time. I think Cobra plugins can be a little bit unpredictable at times, and obviously people who make them haven't actually had the time to sort of go through them and test them on every single console sort of thing, you know. Right, so this is the process that I'll do. I'll go to Webman Games, I'll go to PlayStation 3. At the moment I haven't got any on here, this is a fresh console, but if you open it up, obviously it says there's no content items. However, this will be where your games are. If you press X on the game, it'll load up the internal browser, it'll run through a few options on its own, and then it will ask you if you want to exit the browser. Just exit, and then your game will be loaded up to XMB. Once the game's loaded up to XMB, if you press R2 and triangle, it will say removal. There we go. Hang on. Right. Custom firmware, history files, and custom firmware system calls deleted. That's pretty much what you want to do before you sign into PSN. You want to delete your history and, you know, stealth your PS3 in regards to disabling the custom firmware system calls. So once you've done that, then just go to sign in and sign in. Job's a good one. So I hope you got a bit of an understanding about the whole Webman thing. If you've got any questions, just, you know, by all means leave a comment in the comment section. You know, I'll get back to you as soon as I can. So yeah, thanks for watching. Bye.